Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the team determination call for Thursday, May 28th. Like we had seen earlier, Amy can't make the call today. She's in Utah and her voice is still really bad. So I'm going to be leading the call tonight, and I kind of have a hodgepodge of topics. A few of you had asked some questions, so I'm kind of going to do a Q&A and just kind of go from there. I think a lot of people had posted some stuff in the thread that I posted in the page about time management and how to make this work with the busy schedule. So I'm going to touch on that, but Kendallin actually had a good topic that kind of flows into time management that I wanted to talk about, and she labeled it as choosing your own path. I think as we start this business as coaches, it's easy to see or feel the pressure that you have to be this, or you have to coach this way, or you have to be all these things, and it can be really overwhelming and you could get kind of swallowed in everything that you want to do with Beachbody. You can have really big goals and it can just swallow you up, or you might not know what exactly to do, so you just choose some things that you think are what you want or think what you need. And I think it's really important to choose your own path with coaching based on where you are. Not everybody's going to be that full-time working as many hours as possible to coach, as some people might only have a little bit of time, or so don't compare yourself to what everybody else is doing or what you think everybody else is doing. You don't sit back and say, oh, I'm not a good enough coach, I'm not putting in as much hours as so-and-so, or so-and-so is rank advancing faster than me. What you really have to do in this business is put your blinders on, focus on what you want and not what other people want. And it might take a little bit to figure out what you want, especially when you first get started. I can say for me personally, I started and I didn't really have any direction whatsoever, so that meant I was all over the place because I really didn't figure out where I was and what I was working towards. So I jumped in and jumped out and jumped in and jumped out, and that's okay. I mean, Amy stuck by me as I was the most inconsistent coach. But if you're in that place where you're not sure what type of coach you are, you're still trying to juggle that, don't let that be a reason to stop you from moving forward. What you realize is that even if you're going up and down and in and out, you're still making progress. So that's all that really matters. Make your goals yours and not what you think that they should be. I know when I first started, I heard everybody talking about being a diamond coach. And for me personally, diamond was something I was working towards, but it wasn't something that I wanted for like recognition or this or that. That wasn't what I was pushing for. That didn't drive me. So I had to find a way to make my goals work for me so that I could push for them. And for me, my goals now are based on income more than rank. So you have to figure out what type of goals you're looking for. What does success look like to you? Because success to you could be different to success for me and for success to somebody else. So just be you, and don't be afraid that you're doing something wrong or compare yourself to other. Like I said, just put your blinders on and do what you can. That kind of ties in with time management. So you have to choose your path. So if, let's say you want to be this full-time business builder and you want to have a good income, you're going to have to put in a lot of hours and figure out how to manage your time so it works with your family as well. But also, if you're wanting to just grow steadily, but not necessarily get from here to here quickly, it's okay to go at a slower pace is what I'm trying to say. Don't let anybody make you feel like you need to get from here to here yesterday. If it takes you a year to make diamond, that's fine. If it takes you 2 years, heck, I was a coach for over 2 years before I became diamond. Wherever you are, it's okay. I know somebody else talks about time management and how to make this business work with a busy schedule. And I don't have any sort of secret or answer to that. I can say the best thing that you can do for your business is to set business hours, because I know I was kind of at the demand of, I was getting messages from people all the time, and I felt like I had to instantly respond to people, so it felt like I was always a slave to my phone, and I still sometimes feel like that. But I have set business hours, and now I have the peace to know that if I hear my phone go off, I know, okay, well, I'm going to work at this time of the day, and then another block at this time, and another block at this time. And if I don't I don't have to get to it right now. So I think really you need to have the peace that it's okay for people to wait for your response for a little bit. Even if they have to wait a whole day, there's no shame in that. But set hours that you know you're going to work, whether it be in the morning, in the afternoon. Set something that non-negotiable. Each day you're going to work at a certain time. Plan it out on a calendar. And I think that's the best way to really make this business work on a busy schedule. And sometimes that, for me, is early in the morning or later at night. But that's okay. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of sleep for something like that. But that's my best advice. Set business hours if you don't have them. And you know what? At night, probably about 8 o'clock, sometimes earlier, it's usually when my phone battery dies, my phone goes off and I'm done. And I'll wake up in the morning and I have a ton of messages, but I'm completely okay with walking away. You have to walk away. And I also suggest taking one day a week to completely shut down and go off. That's not always possible, but I think it's a good refresher, because if you're doing this all the time, you're going to get burnt out. And I think since we all work from home, I think it's easy to slip into that cycle where you're at home, so you feel like you need to be working all the time. And if you're not working, like for me, if I'm not working, I feel like I'm not doing my job, and I want to do my job well. But really, it's unrealistic to think that you should be working 24 hours a day. You need to have those hours that you're working, and manage your time effectively in that time that you're working. So that's where I would go back to a power hour, or working your list or doing something, so that if you have an hour dedicated in your busy schedule, you're working it as efficiently as possible. I know somebody had asked about, well, first, does anybody have any questions about time management before I move on to something else? Megan?
Just so I have a reference, what are your office hours?
Okay, so my office hours are, I wake up early. I don't set my alarm, but I'm usually awake between 4 and 4:30. And I roll out of bed and I come and sit at the computer and I work until probably my first kid wakes up, which is usually about 5:30, maybe 6. So I usually get in a good hour in the morning. And then I work again when my son naps for 2 hours every day when he naps. And then I try to get in another hour in the evening. Now I am checking in periodically with my my challengers and my challenge groups through my phone throughout the day. But when it comes to like dedicated stuff, if somebody's sending me a message or a coach is sending me a message, I try to reply to those in those windows of business. But then I always turn my phone off at the end of the day. Usually about this time every day I turn my phone off and I'm just done. Now I might still work and do something, but I turn my phone off so that I'm not distracted by notifications. And I'll get to those tomorrow. But everybody, you just have to work your business hours for what works for you. I know Amy works at night after her kids go to bed. I'm not a night person. I go to bed really early, so that doesn't work for me. That's why I get up early. But you just have to find at least 1 hour, a day. I figure if you can do at least 1 hour dedicated, you'll be good. Then you can fit in little moments here and there. Any other questions about time management? Go ahead.
There we go. Sorry. So I am in like a completely different crazy time zone compared to everyone else that I know, it seems like. Mm-hmm. And so what's hard for me is like their mornings are starting, and that's when like it seems everybody's checking Facebook, or it's either, it would be like 3 a.m. here or earlier than that. And I I can't get up that early. I have a small child, 2 small children. And then the middle of the day is their evening. So they're checking, Facebook and asking questions and stuff then. So I feel like I am answering them later than when they're on. So they're not getting their answers the next day. And I know you said that it doesn't, or it's okay for them to not get a response right away and stuff, but I still kind of feel like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them getting their answers later than
Well, I think I know how you feel because I used to feel that way too. You feel like you want to be available to your customers when they need you right away. And if you're not doing that, you feel like you're not doing your job the way you should, right?
Yes. Okay, there you go.
Well, I think at the beginning of a challenge group, you could maybe mention that you're in a different time zone so people can understand. But I had this really great quote once, and I can't remember exactly what it was. But I remember hearing it on a national wake-up call. And somebody said, do you want to be known as somebody who's instantly available all the time or somebody worth waiting for? So sometimes it's okay to be worth waiting for. And as long as your customers know that, I think they'll be okay with it. Because I don't really think that they're expecting that you're going to reply instantly. I think that's an expectation we put on ourselves that isn't really realistic.
Okay.
So they're probably fine, but just be open and upfront. I think when you're starting challenge groups, hey, I'm in a different time zone, so your posts are going to be. So when you're running, are you running challenge groups on your own?
Yes.
So are you scheduling the posts for the time? Where are you?
I'm in Hawaii. Okay,
so are you scheduling posts based on your time or their time, or how are you working it?
It's mostly my time, but I feel like I'm getting less posts in because by the time I get around to it, it's their evening time. Or like the middle of the day their time. So I think that, I could post in like my morning, so their afternoon, and then my afternoon and their evening. I think that would help.
You might also want to look into using like Hootsuite or Buffer or some other website that can actually schedule your posts for you. So you could go in one day and you could take, what you're going to post. I don't know, depending on how you're running your challenge groups, but I always schedule my posts beforehand. That way they're posting automatically, and all I have to do when I'm running my challenge groups is actually interact with my people. I don't have to worry about posting every single day. That part's taken care of. I set that up before I even get started. So I'll sit and I'll take a couple hours and I'll schedule my posts.
Okay.
It doesn't even take that long now that I've gotten used to it, but I schedule everything so that part of the work is done and it's set. So you could schedule it for a time zone that, doesn't necessarily have to be you. It could be posting before you're even awake. And then once you're awake, you could be responding to it.
Okay. Yeah, that would help. That would help a lot. You said Buffer. What was the first one?
Hootsuite. It's called Hootsuite. I use Hootsuite. I don't know, but I know there's one called Buffer. I don't know which one's better over the other. I like it. Like for Hootsuite, I actually have a video that I made for my coaches. I could share it with you on how to set up Hootsuite. Amy might have a video too, but I remember when I first got started using it, I thought it was really complicated and I was confused, but after kind of failing my way forward through it, I figured it out. But it does, like Hootsuite, when you post in groups, if you're posting like a photo with your post, it does post the photo a little differently than if you would just be uploading it straight from your computer in real time. But it does save time. So like right now, I post all of my end of day follow-up posts through Hootsuite. And then since I'm up early in the morning, I usually post my stuff because I like the way it looks because I have a photo every day. But for a lot of my groups, like sneak peek into coaching groups, stuff like that, I schedule all that stuff through Hootsuite just because it's one less thing I have to think about.
Okay.
So that helps with time management as well. I always say it's best to work smarter than harder, or work smarter, whatever. So to do that work, obviously I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I think it was you, Dusty, who talked about price objections, that you're dealing with a lot of price objections and people who are ordering from they're ordering the 21-day fix from the infomercial. So they obviously know that you are doing something with a 21-day fix. But do they understand that you're a coach and that you benefit from a purchase, or what's happening when people are ordering the 21-day fix from somewhere else?
Okay, so the other day when it happened, I post all the time regarding my 21-day fix groups, and the first one that I did, I posted my website on it and said, you can order here. But for this past one, I said, hey, message me for details, or if you want more information, like my posts, stuff like that. It says on my Facebook that I'm a Beachbody coach, and this, I talk about it and stuff too. So
okay, I didn't know if you were talking about it, because there's a lot of people who are coaches, and they're what I call a closet coach, where they're a coach but they're not necessarily posting very often. So they might post sporadically about the 21-day fix, but people don't really know that you would benefit from that. I've had that happen too. I have people message me sometime and they're like, well, if I order from you, do you get anything for it? And I'm like, yeah, like this is my job. But I don't think people really understand from the outside what we're doing as coaches and what that really means. I honestly think some people think we do it just because we love it and there's no financial side to it at all. So as you progress further in coaching, I think when you talk more, not just about the products, you could also talk about the benefits of being a coach, being that you're making an income or this or that, so people could see on your page, oh, I get it. She's selling these products and making an income or earning something, so they would understand to come to you. But I don't think there's any perfect way that won't happen. I think that no matter how perfect you may be with your posts and getting your information out, there's still going to be that random person who's going to order it from somewhere else or this. I had a customer who I was given to by Beachbody. I connected with her on Facebook. So she ordered originally something from Beachbody, became my customer through Team Beachbody. She ordered something with me from Team Beachbody, and she wanted to order again. The 21-day fix was going to be my challenge group, and she went back to Beachbody, not Team Beachbody, and ordered it and didn't even care. And so like I had worked with her, she knew that I sold this stuff, and she still didn't really care. So there's just going to be those people. But if you do find somebody, like Kristen said earlier, if you get somebody who just ordered within 30 days, you can have their order switched over to you. They just have to send an email. It's something that we can walk you through, but that way you'd still get credit for their purchase, and then you could coach them.
Okay.
As far as like price objections with Shakeology and challenge packs together, I've struggled with price objections a lot, and when I ran my last 21-day fix event, I changed things a little bit differently. So I used to, when I would talk to people, and they'd ask me about the 21-day fix, I would say, there's two different options for buying the 21-day fix. You can buy it by itself or with Shakeology. I recommend that you buy it with Shakeology, and I would explain this kind of stuff. And I would find that most people always chose just the program because I was giving them that option. So now when I talk to people, I like to assume the sale. So I talk to them like I know they're going to purchase it. I have confidence in them. And like I said, I explain the value, and I get more people to commit to challenge packs that way. If they do, say it's too expensive or this or that, I say, just trust me. Please trust me the first, 30 days. If you don't want to drink Shakeology after that, that's okay. But just trust me for your first round of the 21-day fix. I think you won't be disappointed. And if for some reason you don't like what you're getting, you always have that money back guarantee. And that doesn't get everybody on board, but I feel like because my attitude has changed about it and I really assume the sale that they're really going to follow through, it seems like I'm having more people follow through. I guess I have the confidence in what I'm doing. I used to feel bad when I first became a coach. I felt guilty asking people to purchase challenge packs from me because I knew how expensive they were, and I was almost giving people an out before I even asked them because I felt bad. I felt bad that they were spending, almost $200 on something that, while I believed in it, I still felt like, oh, that's a lot of money. I would have a hard time buying that too if I was in their place. So I was approaching things in a lot different way than I do now. So I don't know if that's something that you have to work through on your own, but I was spending people's money and actually almost counting them out before I'd even asked them when I first started.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, so going along with the price objections and people going through another thing, you really have to promote your own value and your worth. So what people want to buy from you because of you. That's what they're getting that they're not getting from an infomercial or somewhere else. So they have to see the value in you. And so selling yourself in a way, that's what we're doing when we're coaching. What is it, Dallas? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sorry. But you really have to promote your value, that you are part of this package. So when you're selling a challenge pack, it's not just a fitness program and Shakeology. It's fitness program, Shakeology, and you. You will be by somebody's side every single day if they need it. And that's something that most people need, and that is what makes the difference in success. So that's what you have to work on, I think, as you're posting stuff. Anybody have any questions about that? Price objections, promoting yourself? Go ahead.
This is actually something I've been working with, like with all my new coaches, because they're just kind of like, how do you overcome? You know, I tell them and I get excited, and then they go, oh, that's too expensive. And they do back out and they go, well, there's another option. And I tell, I know with my coaches, I've said, I never ever give them a second option. And I think, like what Ashley was saying, for me, I value 100% this product and the two combinations. And I tell people, you see my results? That's because I did all of this. And it's not because I took Shakeology out and just did the program, because I genuinely believe in it. So I actually came up with, I've been playing around with a script for a while. And if you girls want me to share it with you guys, like in a document, you can copy and paste it. But I've actually gotten down a strategy where they go from seeing my ad to, you look awesome, what are you doing, tell me more, to, hey, I'm really glad you're interested, but as your coach, I always put your coach because I already put that property there. As your coach, I'd really like to find out about you, your goals, your struggles, you know, and that way I can help you find the right program that's going to benefit you to reach those goals and be successful. So immediately I'm putting the ball in their court going, tell me about you, because my job is to find out what works for you. Because I don't say, well, 21 Day Fix is awesome, and let me tell you about this amazing program. Because 21 Day Fix may not be the right program. So I've actually stopped promoting 21 Day Fix, and I've started promoting program. What program can I help you find to get you to your goal? Because people are seeing 21 Day Fix everywhere, and it's popular. And so they're going, oh, I can totally just get that for the, you know, $70 or whatever off the infomercial. You're ripping me off. I mean, I have had people feel that way. So with that, I also in my script goes, you know, do you have a few minutes to answer some questions? Yeah, sure. Immediately they're like, yeah, I totally want to tell you about myself and all my struggles. And the questions are very basic. It's pretty much everything I've ever struggled with, meaning nutrition, not working out, junk food cravings. It's all those questions. And the reason why I strategically place those questions is because if they answer the way I think they're going to answer, I can come back and go, wow, that was me to a T a couple months ago. You answered yes to this or yes to that. And I can relate to you because I struggled with nutrition. I had sleep apnea. I mean, I have a specific script that I will copy, paste, send. Like, I don't even waste my time trying to convince someone because I have the same script. So then I go, as your coach, after you've answered these questions and I've learned so much about you, this is the package I would recommend. And then you recommend whatever it is. I do recommend 21 Day Fix most of the time because people struggle with nutrition. And I go, this is why I'm offering it, because it has nutrition, portion control, containers, all the good things, right? I also recommend Shakeology, 30-day supply. This is why I recommend it. You talked about junk food, craving, energy, blah, blah. Then the fitness. Then it's all the way down to, how does that sound? And I am not kidding. I have messaged 20 people today with this message, and not one person came back and said, that's too expensive. Immediately go, oh, that sounds great. How much? I am so glad you asked that. As your coach, I actually get to offer this to you at a bundle package. It's 25% off and it's $2 shipping. So it's actually going to be $160. I sent a cute little PDF with all the like stuff I created to show them what they're getting. All I need is an email address and your flavor. Okay, great. Or, hey, can I wait till next week? I get paid.
Yeah.
You know, literally.
You are assuming the sale, and you're finding out what meets them. I shouldn't say assuming the sale. That does sound kind of cheesy, but you are adding that value, and you are going from beginning that, yes, I know that this person, what I have is worth selling. I think if you're wishy-washy or you're unsure, you're feeling guilty or thinking about it so much, I think if you give people an inch that you're not quite 100%, they're going to take it and they're not going to commit.
Or if you vomit on them like, oh, I'm so glad you're interested. Blah, 21-day fix, that's amazing, $160 challenge pack. They're like, ah.
Yeah, but see, when you know what they want and what they need and what their goals are, I mean, you can sell them on their goals with what you have, because you know what you have will meet a need. So I think that's really good ways to avoid price objections, because really it's not the price that they're objecting, it's that they don't really believe that what we have is going to work.
Totally agree.
Because you have to sell them on that belief, because really when people come to us, I don't really think that they believe that they can do it. They want to, but really most people, when they're doing this, health and fitness is such a crazy thing. We're dealing with so much more than just health and fitness. There's so much emotion that goes with it, especially for women, especially if they have a lot of weight to lose. They've probably already tried something before, so that they don't believe in themselves. So if we can help them believe in themselves with what we have, it makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. And I can copy and paste that and put it up there.
Yeah, share that. I appreciate you sharing that, because I think we could all, that's what I love about our team. It's good to share what works and what doesn't work, because we can adapt it and make it for us. I know Kendall wanted to talk a little bit about personal development. I don't know if I ate up all of our time, but she has been reading some stuff and she had a couple of nuggets to share, unless anybody else has any questions before we move on to something else. Okay, good. Go ahead, Kendall, you're on the spot.
Okay, now I think I'm unmuted.
You are, you're good.
All right, cool. So I had just some things I wanted to share about personal development, because that's something that I would slack on a lot until just recently. I've really been committing myself to a good 20 minutes every morning. First thing with my cup of coffee, I'll just, there's the little warning, read for 20 minutes. And the book I am reading right now is called Quitter. And this is by Jon Acuff, and it is, so it's Quitter, Closing the Gap Between Your Day Job and Your Dream Job. And I got this at the library, and I'm not really sure, I mostly picked it because I like Jon Acuff, but so I figured it'd be a good book. So even though I don't really have a day job, and okay, well, I guess you could call, my mommy, that I don't want to quit that job, but anyways, I just found this book to have like tons and tons of great stuff in it. And so I actually wrote down a few that I wanted to share. And so one, he says, when you step up to a challenge before you, your ramped up resources rub off on other areas of your life. And then kind of going along with that, he says, discipline and focus are contagious, and they tend to spread their benefits all around. And so that's just, I love that because it's true. I mean, this totally fits in for us. If you can think of, for instance, when you're disciplined and focused with a workout program or your nutrition plan, that totally changes the whole rest of your life, I believe, and it makes you disciplined in other areas. So if you can kind of think about that a little bit, with your business too, it really falls into place. And then another thing in that, the things you create and share will always outperform the things that stay stuck in your head or your desk or your laptop. So basically follow through. Doing something is better than doing nothing. So if you have an idea in your head, write it down or take some sort of action to follow through with what that idea is. Don't let it just stay stuck in your head. And then the other one was, right now the size of your dream probably outweighs your ability by at least tenfold. Start small, start slow, get better along the way, and enjoy the gift of making many of your early mistakes without a major audience. So I love this because
that's so awesome.
We all want to be 15-star diamonds right now, okay, but we have to start small. We have a smaller audience, and it's okay to make, it's better to be making, mistakes with our scripts or how we talk to people. Better to make them now. We're failing forward. That's what that is, And then the other one is measure hustle first. First, measure the things you can control before the ones you can't. We can measure our hustle. We can measure, so basically what he was saying in this is, if you set a high hustle goal and miss it, you are rarely disappointed, but you still made progress. And we can measure our hustle. We can measure the things that we can control. Like we can measure how many times we got out of bed and got up early to work, or how many times we got up early and did our personal development, or whatever. We can measure our hustle, but we can't measure the things that we didn't do. And so lastly, I wanted to leave you with this. He also says, do I want, so this is something you would fill in the blank. Do I want blank, question mark. So what do you want? And then you put, then I have to blank. So that's just something kind of neat to think to yourself. Do I want diamond or whatever? Then I have to do this. So, and I'm not even done with this book. So there's just like tons of stuff in this book. I recommend getting that one. And I just found that at the library. So
yeah, I have read John Acuff's Start book, and of course I met him in Knoxville when I was with Amy, and he is absolutely amazing. His books are really, really good reads because they're, I don't want to say entertaining, I don't think that's the right word, but his writing style is very easy to read. It's not like some of the personal development books that we read that's very dry material that I feel like I'm reading but not retaining anything. His books are very well written, very engaging, very motivating.
He's relatable.
Very, okay, that's a good word. I actually just ordered his new book, but I haven't read it yet, called Do Over, which I think is good because it's if you're in a place where you're kind of at a standstill and something needs to change, I think it's to help you start your momentum again. I have Quitter, but I hadn't read it yet because I didn't know if it would apply to my life because I don't have a regular day job, but I'm glad to hear that it does. Makes me want to pick it up and read it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't really know if it would apply either, but I found that there's still like just tons of stuff in there that just totally like, ringing a bell in my head. But yeah, I really recommend that everybody, whether you think it's that important or not, take at least 10 minutes out or something of your day to sit and only be concentrating on that, not necessarily be doing other things, especially in the morning. It's just totally changed my perspective, like for the whole day.
Yeah, I think that this business can be very, very discouraging because we're hearing no a lot. We're I feel like sometimes I'm running into a brick wall every single day, like at full speed. And if I wasn't feeding myself with personal development, I wouldn't be able to pick myself up. I wouldn't have as thick of a skin. I know that the longer I've been a coach and the more I've read personal development, the more I've done this, the thicker my skin has got. Like where something used to really bother me if somebody even so much as told me no or unfriended me or whatever, now I'm able to, I'm okay with it. It doesn't sting as much. I can move on from it a little bit quicker. And I think that's just because of the personal development. It's something that's the easiest thing to skip out of on the 3 bottom behaviors, but I think it's the one that people need the most. That's my opinion. And I'm still guilty of skipping out on it occasionally also. Anybody else have any other questions? Concerns? Anything else they want to talk about? We have 2 minutes left. We could hash something out in 2 minutes. Oh, we're all good. Look at this cute puppy. Isn't he cute? This is my mom's stinker of a dog. I'm sure everybody on the team will care, but he's a stinker. Anyways, well, you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Sorry our topic was like all over the place, but I think sometimes it's good to just hash out everything. So I will see you all next week. I'm sure Amy will be back with some awesome information from her conference. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.